past. It threatens the fastest weapon. You wouldn't make it past a second, and that's the question. Play it brash and reckless, or choose a cautious solution you thought was prudent. In any sepulcher, pulchritude will become the putrid. It's that wealth that I'm pursuing. No mountain too steep or dungeon too deep to send expended remarks up to the top of the peak or beneath. They see you bleed, they come like sharks to it, while I swim in that money bin like Carl Barks drew it. So send your national parks druid, I'll send them home in a natural box with a closed top and most of the parts included. Save your breath for a cleric confessor. Death is a lesson and life is a tenured professor. But if you're seeking my official advice, sign on the dotted line and initial it twice.
Hello.
Yep, you're right.
I am Tycho Brahe of Penny Arcade and PAX. I'm also a Minifus Hereward Drawn CEO of Acquisitions Incorporated. But today, I'm Jerford K. Horcrims, your internet friend. And I'm here to play an entirely new version of the C Team. But I mean, you've seen the previous episodes, so you know exactly what we're going to do. We're in the Tales from the Loop. But let me introduce the off-brand versions of the characters that you love. Let me try a new introduction.
No, just we're in now. We're in.
You know what? Go with it. Run with it.
Look,
Yeah,
I don't have all day, Jerry. Okay.
Let me try these.
I have a young boy's birthday party that I have to attend.
let me introduce these lesser somehow abraded versions. To my right, obviously star of track and field, Douglas the Blitzen.
I don't have my basketball. I put it away.
I was just gonna say I expected to see a sporting implement.
Good job, dorkless.
Yeah, I was just gonna.
Baseball signed baseball. That's a thing.
It's a baseball that's also a cube. It's honestly the optimal item for this configuration.
Yeah.
To the right of my right, repping the rink, it's Danny K. Grass.
Just me? Oh, God, a bird. I don't know what we're doing.
You guys
I'll work it in.
Is
Yeah.
there a bird in here? To my left, it's the teen queen of crime, Rosie B. Stinger.
Don't look at me.
God, the book is out.
Do not look at her in the eyes.
And emerging as though from a mist shroud, just to maintain the tradition. It's Chris Stroud, actually.
Hi, everyone. Oh, and then I go I like pottery, so we're gonna.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I don't know. I'm starting to throw. I'm taking up throwing. So as we suggested, certainly we have cut our teeth on a couple episodes now. Do you not? Is that not a widely understood term?
No, it is. It's just disgusting. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. Anyway, we have gnawed on a couple episodes already. Is that superior?
That's better.
Of Tales from the Loop, and so among the other things that we know about the system and about each other, Tales from the Loop games, especially when they were starting up a new story, there is a sort of a montage collaborative element at the very beginning where everybody sort of gives us a glimpse into into a moment from their life. It could be something really, really normal. It could be something that's really, really important to you. It's just going to help us set the scene so that everybody's in here with us. Now, I had also suggested that, especially after our profound successes in the first couple episodes, you can improve one of your skills if you want to. And if you want to throw something into your little vignette here in the montage that touches on the improvement of that skill, it doesn't even necessarily need to involve like a successful use of it. It just needs to, it's just something that might have indicated to you something. In fact, a failure is even better, I think, from a narrative perspective on how you might have learned how to do something in a different way. So who would like to go first? Are there any Rosies that are excited about putting themselves out there, putting themselves in the mix with a narrative amuse-bouche?
Any Rosies here? I actually don't want to go first.
Oh, that's
do,
perfectly
desperately.
acceptable. Well,
Okay,
here,
go
well,
ahead, go
listen, Danny. I mean, it's not obviously this is an incredible opportunity. The floor is yours.
Great. How do I tell you the skill I want to improve? Like, what do I do?
You can do this either way you want. You can just set up the whole scene, and then I'll play everybody else. I'll handle any mechanical stuff that needs to occur, or you can
Okay.
tell me about the skill, and we can figure the whole thing out in real time, as they say.
Okay. So I'm looking at Kate's background here, and it is a hallway of lockers.
I can smell this hallway, by the way. Like there's those images you can hear. That is like an image I can smell.
And taste.
Yo.
Okay, so there are top and bottom lockers in this world, I guess, which I've never seen, but I love the idea. So here we go.
It creates some pretty fraught social scenarios, let me tell you.
So Danny is tall, and she certainly has a bottom locker. And so she has to wait for everybody to leave the vicinity so that she can open it, because all the top lockers are.
Danny, has she ever been late as a result of this?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Much, and she does not like that. She likes to, she sits in the front row of the class. She's a ding dong, but whatever. And so she's waiting for everybody to leave, and the spot in front of her locker opens up, and she's waiting like a little bit longer than normal.
Really?
Like watching the hallway clear out.
Is that true?
And then when everybody, it is true. When everybody kind of clears out, she squats down on her haunches and opens her locker, and she's changing out her books for the next class or whatever. And then on the inside of the locker, there's like maybe a Polaroid picture from like Derby, like a bout she went to or something like that.
Nice.
But there's also just like a little like half of a mirror. And she looks around, and then she looks in the mirror, and she goes, "Hey, Brittany." And then she waits, and she goes, "Hey, Brittany. Hey, Brittany, right?" Yeah. I'm Danny Walnut, whatever. And this goes on and on and on. What I'm trying to do is increase my charm.
All right. Well, here, why don't we just do a charm roll so that we know
it doesn't work.
So, here. Why don't we do a charm roll so that we can get a funny or touching result that we can work into the story now?
I'm delighted. Okay, so.
All right. So, do you remember the calculation? This is, of course, for our friends at home as well.
From last time, I do have my injured box ticked. Am I still dinged up?
No, not between sessions. If you get really like, if you injured is something that you've taken care of this before, right?
Okay, all right. I didn't know if I was like all donked up.
No. You're a little bit. I mean, I think that Danny's always a little bit, right?
Okay, you're right.
I think that she's used to taking care of herself, right?
Okay, so it looks like I do. My heart is 3 and my charm is 1, so I do 4.
Perfect. Yeah, 4d6.
Okay, here we go. Boom, baby. Wait, no. Okay, 6. Come on, 1. Why is this going so fast? 4. Come on, 5. How do you roll multiple fucking dice?
So click a bunch of them.
I did.
Tuck.
Oh, I'm a dingus. Yes. Okay. Well, I got a 1, and then 5, some 6, and a 4.
Okay, so you have 1 success?
Yeah, you have to get like a 6 to succeed completely, 100%.
No, the only dice that count in this game are 6s rolled on d6.
I forgot, and also I forgot because I hate it, and I thought maybe it would change. I hated it.
I had a fantasy that numbers were different, just different than I thought.
All right, I had 1 success.
But 1 success is, listen, this is the thing, is that 1 success means that you achieve your aim.
Okay.
So like, there's going to be really challenging things that have higher thresholds, especially if you're working together on something. But you have this quiet moment in the hall talking to this mirror.
Yes.
And you think that, I mean, you feel like something moves in you. Like you can picture yourself doing it. You can picture this happening in real life. And when you close the locker, just in the corner of the mirror flash as it closes, you can see Brittany disappear down the other hall.
Oh.
All right.
And wait.
Oh, no.
Wait.
Listen, no, we get to do all of this. So this isn't even, this is what I want.
So like, Danny like watches her go 100%. And then she's kind of like smiles to herself and she's like, "Hey, Brittany."
Oh.
Yes. Exactly right. Yes. So please, if you would add that charm point, and then, you know, from now on, whenever you use that skill, it is a little better as a result of this experience. Now, who would like to jump in next? I'm ready. I was just going to say, we can manifest every harmful dynamic that happens in middle school. I can begin calling on people, but, you know, is that what we want? Is that the relationship we want to have with one another?
I guess it is. Look at him.
Boys.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Oh,
The only reason I didn't want to go is just because it was like, I mean,
Because you're nervous and shy.
I was like some nervous and shy, and I'm a little.
I'm
a sweet boy.
Bit scared. I'm a little bit scared. I just didn't want to go more unrequited love, but thematically, let's
listen. I
Aries
think
as
that's
hell.
being a young person.
I mean, that is
Puberty,
true.
baby.
Hormonal as hell. And maybe,
hurts.
I mean, Donald's situation isn't necessarily unrequited.
Who's
Douglas.
God, Douglas.
Please, my father was Donald.
Yeah, I come from a
The
long
wrong
line
name entirely.
of D-named men. Just call me D. That might be easier.
Honestly, we don't hate it.
Yeah. So I was fluctuating back and forth on this. So I was going to improve contact.
Oh, interesting. Now, what I have for your anchor right now is your brother.
Yes.
So that's one type of contact, like relationship, that you can improve. What are you thinking about?
Well, I was thinking about Catherine, the neighbor girl, but I'm down
that's
to,
cool.
to I mean, the Dinar's or Douglas's brother makes sense too. Like we can go. Those are his two main, pillars of good people.
Yeah, exactly. So contact is kind of a neat skill that exists in this game. It's the sort of skill that you would need in a game that's about movies and shows, because essentially it just means, it's like, imagine having like a bag and you can reach into this bag and pull out the person that you need, like by the scruff of their neck, basically. So it can be anything. I mean, improving your contact can exist in any of those continuums. You can just have an experience with any of those characters that we can do together right now, and it can represent that if we want.
Yeah, I interpret it as an NPC.
Definitely.
Phone a friend sort of thing.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
No,
it's basically the phone a friend from the game show.
Your instinct was right. I think actually Nace makes sense, although I haven't given him a real life name.
In this world, he's Nathan.
That makes sense. I was actually gonna say Nathan.
Yeah, and it's just such a good solid brother name, I think.
That is a good brother name.
So how does it go?
I mean, hot on the heels of our last adventure, and with the with everything that happened and all the weirdness that had taken place and these transcendental things that like Douglas had seen.
Yeah.
When he gets dropped off back at the house, he stops at
Kathy's house. Yeah.
And talks to her for a bit, and kind of is talking to her through her windowsill.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say. So
and
what's
what they
that
talk
dynamic
about, we
like?
will not say.
Yeah. What is that dynamic like? Is this? Have you been talking up to this window for a while?
Yes, they are. Have grown up together, longtime friends, very familiar with each other.
She's literally the girl next door.
She's literally the girl next door. They play sports together.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not one-sided.
No.
The feelings, let's say, but nothing has been acted on because they've just known each other for too long.
Is this the sort of situation where the relationship sort of expresses itself through competitive sport? And you've just shot hoops and talked about shit after school basically your whole life, and
yeah,
you have real challenges, and you basically that's their love language, essentially, is competing in these games. And
yes.
nothing has come of it. Nothing may ever come of it, but there's just something recognized at a low level.
Well, yes. And then with the Dinar's family, Douglas's family having money and sort of being elevated.
It screwed it up.
That screwed it up a little bit, but not enough that Douglas stopped scurrying down to talk to her as often as possible. So that happens. He has a conversation with her and tells her everything that happened, and then afterwards slinks away into the night and sneaks back to his house.
Okay, I've got good stuff if you want to use it here.
Yeah, I was saying where perhaps he runs into Nathan, but yeah,
no. This will be good because it'll work like it should in the show. So, here, what I want from you first is a sneak roll.
Okay. So
these vignettes they might have skill rolls, they might not. That's not really the point.
So I roll body plus sneak, right? Or just
exactly
sneak?
Right. Exactly right. It's always the stat plus the skill.
All right. And I'm just looking for sixes.
Yeah, sneak is not your best. That's not how you have invested your body. But
my body is so high that my sneak is low, but body's high.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. It's something you could get better at.
I got. Oh, it depends where this last one lands. I got 1.
1 is all that's required to succeed in this game.
In business.
1 6. That's all it takes, people.
I rolled 6 dice, so I mean, statistically, one of them was bound to be.
Yes. Now, so you are able to, the silent code. There's a version of the code for the security system that is in a silent mode. It's designed for you. It's designed to be used if you're under duress or someone is making you use the system. There is a silent mode that you have utilized many times. You are able to get the code in. It's like every time you think it's going to be the security system disarmed, you think that's going to be house-wide, but just as the other times, you have penetrated the inner sanctum, and as you crest the stairs and open your door, in the shaft of dim light from the hallway, you can see an imposing male figure. The shadow of them, in that shaft of light, sitting and waiting on the bed. First of all, very briefly, has anyone ever had this experience?
No.
Yes.
In real life?
Not waiting in my room, but yes. Coming home, sneaking out and getting caught, yes.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so you see it. You see the literal icon of your doom made manifest in on the bed. Every every part of this silhouette is punching your heart through your back and out into the hallway.
Yeah, my stomach drops. Terror and fear and dismay firmly gnash their teeth and sink their teeth in. I stop and actually weigh the idea of not going in.
and they stand immediately. That shaft of light sort of catching just above the knee, like up to the pocket, and the rest of their body completely cloaked in darkness, and they start toward you.
I mean, I hang my head because it's trying to run or like it was only going to make this worse. I just got to get this over with. So yeah. I hang my head in defeat and then go in my room and just prepared for the lashing that's coming.
The arms fold gently around your back and pull you close. And you hear Nathan's voice say, "Sup, D?"
I freak out and
like quiet.
Yeah. Like, what the hell? I almost crapped my pants, dude.
It's like I thought it was gonna be a surprise.
It was a surprise. Surprise in my pants. I made figgy pudding in my damn pants, dude.
No. He's like
I'm looking over my shoulder to make sure the parents aren't awake.
No, yeah, exactly. So he's popped back from engineering school very, very briefly for a little like a long weekend here at the beginning of the semester. So you can spend an hour or so just getting resynchronized with each other. Go ahead and put that contact back on there. He knows stuff. He's been your age. He is a trusted confidant, and he often asks about Kathy.
I'll say after the initial flustering and anger because thought he was dad, obviously great to see him, and Dinar or Douglas
exactly
melts in his presence, and just immediately gets excited like a puppy, and gives him the full download.
No, exactly. So the two of you end up downstairs in the kitchen, lights on. It's from 1 to 3 in the morning. Ovaltine, it's mixed. Ovaltine is mixed. It's hot.
It's the downstairs kitchen, so it doesn't disturb your parents.
No, exactly right. Yeah, it's not upstairs at all. Basically he's got he has the WSU sweatshirt that he's wearing in the middle of the night. He is definitely he's all in on the garb.
Yeah.
I like that. That's how you can get a skill point in this game, is that you can meet your cool brother who comes home from school. Now, we have Rosie and we have Mr. Stroud.
So here's the thing. I am metagaming this a little bit, and I'm thinking about
it's going to happen since we all share DM role. It happens, and that's okay.
From a story perspective, and I'm sure from an audience perspective, were this a show, but instead of being real life as it actually is, we would want to understand what happened to Chris's dad, and the science of it, and why is it centered, this activity centered around the town, and I don't know where we sit in time on that, but I actually wanted to do the same attribute, the same stat that Tris did.
For charm.
Yeah, but because Chris in now fictional Chris, the story Chris, has an opportunity to have a a cool friend who's in roller derby. And
Well, I mean, the truth is that even in these vignettes, you can roll other characters in. You can just invite them into those scenes.
How dare you?
It's funny too because
They
I
could
was
say
going to
no.
do charm too, and I pivoted just in the last second.
Contact is really good though.
We could have all done charm.
for a D.
I'm maxed out. Hey, Chris, are you going to have a scene with your dad? Because if
you have a good
so,
option.
well, the way that it would work in a show is that everybody who is coming back to this episode dying to know what happened with your dad. So of course, the montage scenes that have nothing to do with that content are going to get
torment
stretched out, and they're going to wait until the last possible second to deal with what happened to your dad. So I can do my scene really quick if you're going to do a dad scene.
Oh no, let's play it that way, because
mine's
either
quick.
one that doesn't get done here, I'll just do it in the episode
Okay.
proper. So
Okay.
let's do
So
yours.
my skill that I'd like to increase is empathize. I got a +2. I'd like to make it a
Interesting.
+3. And the way because Rosie is 12, she's not capable of
Right.
a lot of personal growth at this particular time in her life. So the way that empathize happens, the scene in my head is more along the timeline of Douglas's scene, which is like right after the events
Yeah.
of our last episode. She's gone home. She's talking to her big sister, Beatrice.
Correct.
She's filled her in, and Beatrice like gasped at all the appropriate moments or whatever. And then now Beatrice went to bed, and they share a room. So Beatrice is there. I think they probably share a room because there's a lot of kids in a pretty small house. They're not rich. So I think there's like at least 2 kids to a room, maybe 3. So Rosie is she's trying to go to sleep. She can't, she's tossing and turning, and she gets her book of secrets out, her juicy diary secrets. Hang on. Let me get my cover out. She pulls this out from under her pillow where she sleeps with it because she knows that everybody's dying to steal it. It's full of information.
Yeah.
And she pulls it out, and she has a little flashlight. She goes under her covers with a flashlight,
Yes.
and she's reading the pages that are about. Hang on. I actually have them written down. She's got the Danny page, she's got the Douglas page, and she's got the Chris page.
Perfect.
And she's reviewing all of this information. She's like updating her notes, and she notices that on every single one of those 3 pages, she's written that every single one of them sometime in the past, not today, not recently, but sometime in the past, her notes have contained how dumb they are. And so one by one, she's like, no. And she gets her like big colorful eraser, and she erases, because it's all in pencil, she erases dumb out of all 3. And that's as much personal growth as she is capable of. And that is how she gets another point in empathize.
That's awesome. So she's sort of reconfiguring
Yes.
her relationship, and it's not like justice or something, but it's like we're moving toward it.
Are you sure she doesn't like think about it for a second and then write dumb in Douglas's page, but it's like in the prose column, and it's just like,
Yeah, no,
Dumb,
like that's okay. That's okay.
yeah, dumb in the pro column is sort of like pliable.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not the worst thing to
I
be.
say, like,
She says in Douglas's page, it says, idiot baby. And she's like, you know what? He's not a baby.
there it is. There it is.
He can take care of himself.
Yeah, exactly. He has a bear's strength.
A bear's softness.
That's right. Yes, but also, all right. So our stat increase firmly established. We move now to a youthful Stroud.
Gosh, let's pivot then from charm, because it doesn't make sense in the context. Let's find this dad.
Yeah, you could investigate. There's the sky is the limit for you on these points from a character perspective, from a interpersonal perspective. Like you can do anything you want.
I'm trying to figure out what's the best one to
Well,
resolve.
like I say, so
'Cause he has a
it's worth
surprising amount of heart.
No, it's worth investigating. Because skills mean different things in this game.
Yeah.
It's worth going into, because sometimes they mean something a little bit different than you'd expect. Empathize, like for example, empathize in this game is sort of like insight.
Insight, yeah.
But it's really, really powerful insofar as it lets you, like we saw last time, like ask specific questions and get real answers. It's not euphemistic.
Yeah.
Like you as a character have a lot of power with the empathize skill. But in terms of comprehend means to have the right piece of information or to be able to find it at the library. So that's sort of like a Call of Cthulhu type skill.
Oh, sure.
Library use, which
I'm
is
already
huge.
high on that.
Right. Oh yeah.
What's your contact?
Contact's also high.
Okay.
The only things, so the story-wise, I can imagine, like trying to increase friendship via empathy.
Yeah.
But also, we could play it this way. Chris is low on body. That's just known. Seeing that, that raw strength pulled the dad back out and saved everybody. There would be something there of like, it's not enough to just know things. Like, will I be able to cope with it?
Hold on. Are you gonna give us? Are you gonna give us like the full-on '80s
training montage,
like lifting actual weights?
I think that's the right move. It says, and
but it's just like one book.
Yeah, it's like a book about how to lift weights properly.
Yeah. So in this,
and then at the end, like you're weaker.
So tired. Yeah.
Yeah.
I oversleep.
In this game, move. That's the sort of skill that you would. That's what you would do for, like in sports, let's say.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
so
okay,
that's one path, and then force, which is actual like lift heavy things, fight, endure physical stress. So it's bifurcated into those two things. So whichever one he thinks that he wants to work on. In the mirror here, I assume the long jacket is still on.
Oh, for sure. There may be changed into like some kind of shorts, something to work out in, but the jacket's on.
But the jacket's still there.
Are they the tiny little 80s shorts with the piping around the edges that go way too high on the thigh?
Headband.
Yes. But the members only jacket is still on.
Still on top of it because
a headband, a
sweatband. Unmute fast enough. Too high on the thigh? What are you talking about? Exactly the right place on the thigh.
Oh yeah. Okay. This is it. Like 80s. Okay. Here we are. 80s montage. Late night. Go into the garage where there's enough space to exercise. It's like put that cassette in, that driving, Eye of the Tiger music, and then just montage of working out on all of the 80s, like at the birth of the infomercial shopping network. Thigh Master, the abs blaster.
So every tool, like every device that you use is like for a single purpose.
Yes.
Like laser focused on a portion of your body.
With an emphasis on buns of steel, like the buns.
So many, looking at the VHS tapes, and there's so much bun stuff. It's like might be good, might be useful.
You want to leverage the bun.
Yeah, somehow I get very good at it.
He's like got an incredible dump truck at the end of this montage.
I'm just admiring, in the mirror. It could, listen, I've decided that when they talk about core strength, it's actually about buttock strength. That's
it's the butt core.
About.
It's in the center. And it's like, if you look at it, it's like, that's the center. That's sort of the hinge, the axis upon which all the human function rests is the bun.
Chris assumes that that's some sort of a metaphor when you say core. Like that's just a nice term for ass.
It's essentially a hinge.
Crude. Yeah, it's really that part of your body.
I'm loving it. We go. So, is there anything else that an individual character wants to establish? No. Okay. Then I will seize the reins.
Yeah, you grab.
Exactly. We go instantly from that. So let's imagine that there is a moment where after Brittany has left around that hallway, and
Yes.
you are thinking about your you've developed your skill, Danny Grass,
Sure.
and exactly what you're trying to leverage in this very testing new context. Let's go right back to the bleachers at the cat house.
Oh, yes. I feel
Let's
like
go.
I'm already there.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. The first time is a sort of a brief introduction. It's like, I'm B, right? And she, as I suggested before, I did not emphasize it with enough. I didn't have enough time because I really wanted it just to be an outro. But I want to take a second to establish the visual component of what might distinguish B from Brittany Malone,
I'm glad.
right?
Brittany Ramone, actually.
Brittany Ramone, exactly. I've been playing a lot of Fuser, and
I knew it.
Better Now keeps coming up. That's my fault. So the incredibly soft black sweater is too large. That's the first thing that we have to establish. It's too big. The sleeves extend, even beyond the wrist.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, must be bunched closer to the elbow so that she doesn't appear to be a sort of circus performer.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
No.
It's good.
No, it's good. There is a black skirt. There are black and white striped tall socks that go up the army surplus boot. Jet black in its construction. It's waffle formidable. Tiny diamond earrings and a nose ring stud that you don't remember her having a piercing for.
Incredible.
The eyeshadow is purple. Now do you have the information that you need to interact?
Yeah, I've been nuked from orbit. This is great. Thank you.
It's too
Once
much.
again.
No. So and so that's it. And it's like, but she says, B, you don't know if she is telling you something that's obviously not true or letting you into a secret of some kind.
No, I feel like this is more true.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I choose to believe that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's just like this is like, yo, God, it's so. Hang on, I just have to take a second. Yeah, it is. It's something you're agreeing to believe together.
I love it. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Absolutely. Exactly. And so it is on out here. It's crazy. Of course, you come in, this is, before it was considered like the old Patterson's, the old rink behind the new one. The new one can be seen from Division. It's quite substantial, but there was an older rink behind that they now rent out to the Booney Bitches. Now, they are not allowed to put up a sign. It's been an issue in the past. They are not allowed to put up a sign that says "Welcome to the Cat House." That's just part of the rental agreement. The sign out front that says "Welcome to the Patterson's North Derby facility."
When they do bouts, like, is the announcer like, "Oh, welcome to the Cat House"?
Yes. Yeah, no. It's the whole thing. It's like a radio announcer. There are wildcat noises, a lush bed, of carnivorous cats, but the back of that sign has a small printed, like a tarp, like a plastic sign that is hung up on the back sign that says, "You are now exiting the cat house." And they have not seen this one yet.
I love it. The cat was coming from inside the house.
Yeah, the cat the whole time.
The whole cat.
So, this is it's. Do you go to these with? Does your mom Hannah drop you off at these?
Yes.
Or does she come? Or does she come sometimes? Is it like a 50-50 type thing?
She drops me off 100% of the time. My choice. I'm sure she'd love to be a part of it, but this is my thing. Mom, come on. Can I just have one thing? I see you all day at the farm stand.
Perfect. And she has, so alongside the rest of these trappings, she has what might be considered the dark twin of Rosie's own notebook, except hers is absolutely featureless black on the cover, and attached over the sort of hard cover, it's sort of ring bound on the back.
Sure.
And attached over the hard cover are 3 pens. These are pens. There is a purple one, a blue one, and a pink one. The ink within sparkles. They look almost like potions affixed to the cover. And she takes the purple one out and sort of like lays it down near her knee and drops it below the bleachers.
Oh, I see this, and it's important to know that Danny does not get it. And she stands up immediately, like way too fast, like shakes the bleachers a little bit. And she goes, "Oh, I'll get that for you." And then she goes, "Stay right there. I mean, I'm getting your pen, so you wouldn't, but don't go anywhere." And she is a little trash demon. So she does not even think about hopping off the bleachers and going under. She just squeezes in between the rails.
Nice. You can hear activity up on the. It's like these are the older. It's the older structure.
Oh yeah.
The new Patterson's, of course, has got, it has like the dining area. It's more like a cafe inside. They've got arcade machines. This is a little bit older school. It gets a little bit cold in the winter, right? It's a recognized thing that you're supposed to bring a blanket during these bouts. Like it's a known thing. It's not too expensive. It fits the budget. And as you pour yourself through these slats, you can hear the activity. So it's like these are actually like wood bolted into an iron structure.
Yes.
And when you get down underneath this, it becomes clear. Like you haven't seen it. When you come to these events, you can see your future.
Yes.
You're picturing yourself. You're picturing yourself out here with a star firmly emblazoned on your helmet.
Yes.
Ready to get points.
Yes.
Right? And there is another world to these events that you were perhaps not fully aware of.
A seedy bleacher underbelly, perhaps?
Well, unfortunately, yeah.
What am I seeing? Paint me a word picture.
You are in a Dionysian realm.
The bleacher bacchanalia
of teen smut.
God.
There are no less, Danny, than 2 other couples down here already going to work.
Disgusting.
It is.
So first, they're the ones making out, but I feel awkward. Like I've somehow, like this was prearranged, and I have now walked into the middle of it, and I'm just doing this. I'm like, oh God, feeling in the dark for wherever this pen could be. And I'm sure it hit the ground, just pinged a million miles away.
Yeah. So you are down there, like looking close, like, you know, keeping your head down. It's like every now and then a boot or a kernel of popcorn is coming down through these slats. And you can see it sparkle just a little bit farther underneath. Like you almost have to sit down and reach forward and grab it.
Which of course I do, because I cannot come back empty-handed. If
No.
I come back with the pen or not at all.
Yeah, exactly. No, you come back with your pen or on it.
Or on it.
I don't know if it works. I don't know if that metaphor works with pens. But you reach out to grab it, and her hand goes atop yours.
She didn't trust you to get it.
In the meantime, she has found her way down here also.
Oh my God. What's the song?
Let's see.
I certainly do have True Colors as mine.
Oh, yeah. But during the bout, it might not be.
You're right. No, I mean, what music fades in right now?
Yeah. Exactly. Well, here, I'm willing to take suggestions.
Yeah.
For 1986 high energy pop hits.
Yeah. What one plays? Hey, if you type 80s kissing songs, it just comes up with kiss songs. Careless Whisper, get out of here.
Yeah.
Careless Whisper's great.
You know what?
How about Stuck With You by Huey Lewis?
Why not just... Oh God! Can it just be "I Want to Dance with Somebody"?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It can
That's
totally.
The Glory of Love by Peter.
And it's
Well, "I Want to Dance with Somebody" would be so great here too, because it, of course, in the Derby community, it would be a completely ironic.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like smashing into each other, and then it fades to them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Now it's fully Ronic.
Can I?
And Yonic.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's Ronic and Yonic, and here's the thing. Now that we've made this manifest, can I abandon my own life and now transport here
this space
in a permanent situation?
No, I was just gonna say, I mean, I've been thinking about this a lot. You could see and touch people. I was thinking about that the other day. It was interesting.
Is the loop real?
It's like, can we be there? Can I be under the bleach with my crush?
Can I be under the bleachers with my crush and I have not a care in the world? All right,
No,
sorry. That's table talk.
And this is the thing: is that if you had the reins of your rational mind, this is the least sanitary place on earth.
Oh, I've lingered for 30 seconds and I'm now stuck to the floor with goo from a bygone era.
No, exactly. There's gum that has become crisp with age.
Grease. If you've ever been under bleachers, there's a shit ton of grease under bleachers.
There's a lot of grease.
Yeah, but I need to establish very firmly, not only for you, Danny, but also for the audience, that there is no skill on your character sheet that would reveal any of that information.
You know what? I will tell you though, when the hand, here's what I'll do. Here's my tasteful version of this. Her hand touches Danny's hand, and she like tenses for a second, and then she looks over, and it's like a split second, and she goes, "Hi,
Hey,
B."
Brittany.
Wow.
But it's like not like practice. It was just like very genuine, and she's just like, "I see you."
It actually just
Mordecai.
happens.
Ooh.
No. And
And
she
they put their
says,
ponytails together. Oh,
no,
sorry.
exactly. And she says, hey, and she moves in to, well, no,
No?
you don't think that she's trying to fight you.
Oh.
At any rate, if she were, you would. This is a sort of fighting you'd like to read more about. You'd like to see a pamphlet, maybe even
Danny throws a punch. as
maybe even
Brittany's leaning
subscribe
in.
to a
Get
newsletter.
off me.
You get so flustered, you don't know what to do. You just elbow
Completely
her.
misinterpret the signal.
No. I do want to say
So hard. It's so
we can
hard.
completely fade out of the scene, but B can go 20% and Danny absolutely goes the other 80% of the way.
Oh, so it just starts out. It starts out like the approach, and then you're just like, yep, and then
Weapons
And
free.
then
Yeah.
only after it's already happening does Danny go, wow, I hope that's what she was trying to do.
Weapons free.
yeah.
There's still a part of you that's like, she mad. I should have figured this out before I went ahead.
It cuts to her, and it's like a close-up shot, and she's like being cool about it, and then it cuts back to you, and you're just like, cuts back to her, and she's like, and she just kind of goes like, puts her hand and goes like,
Let's a little bit less of this.
a little less of that.
Let's do it this way. So, she,
Finishes.
the next, no. I mean, I wish that it were less like that. She, after she, when you emerge, God, this is so true. This show hurts to run sometimes. The nature and quality of the light in the cat house is different when you leave the bleachers.
You entered a girl, you emerged a woman.
It is. It's just brighter. The journey song is clearer.
Oh.
And
And indeed, you won't stop believing.
no.
The Wheel in the Sky?
And then it's like it exists in a different world. And then when you cross the threshold of that space, the back of these bleachers, when you cross that threshold out, she says, I'll be right back. And like her hand drops at the edge, like the threshold out back into the real world.
Oof.
Oh, right. Shit. One, it's the 80s, and two, it is school. Right.
Yep.
That whole fucking thing.
That's the pain I'm talking about.
I forgot about life.
Ugh,
Damn it.
Fuck.
Fantasy. Take me
Can't
back to
escape
the-
all of it. The loop
Danny.
has been creating a safe field
yeah,
for
exactly.
this activity, and everybody's cool with it.
Yeah.
Forgot
Danny.
about my
Part of
own
it.
damn experience. Okay, thank you. Go
Danny,
ahead.
she doesn't come back from the restroom.
Yeah, I know.
So, God, being young is very difficult. I think that the best thing that you can do to help is just to remember how hard it was.
Right.
It was really hard. And it's like now I'm talking to my youths about stuff, and I just never forgot. I don't know if it's just like my memory or whatever it is. I just never forgot. I have a lot of sympathy for how impossible it is to be conscious being and also young. It's very difficult
Our
work.
bodies age, but we are all just idiot children. still.
I think there's pretty strong evidence for this.
You guys keep talking. I'm going to mute myself and call my therapist about what just happened.
I have no sympathy for the youth. I would love to go back to low stakes teenage years.
Low stakes teenage years if you're going to get gay bashed at a roller rink.
Oh.
Different situation. Here, I'm gonna send Alyssa a brief text. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I'm
Let's
gonna
like get
I'm gonna
me away
paint
from
some
these people.
I'm gonna paint some color into this scene real quick.
Yeah.
Just because I hope it's meaningful foreshadowing. But the derby, the scene cuts with Danny looking over sort of listlessly at the derby.
Yeah.
It's more out of habit than anything else. And what she sees is, everybody going to town with Journey. But the coach on the sidelines she's clapping. She's like, get the fuck in there. Hell yeah, bitches, go. And she's an older lady. It's clear like her derby years are behind her, right? But she definitely has that like stocky build where she's got a low center of gravity, and it would have been punishing to go up against her. And
Yeah.
this of course is Rosie's mom, Helen Stinger, and her. Danny, you might know her as a bit of a local derby legend back in the day. Obviously not rolling anymore, but she was the very famous local hero, Helena Handbasket, when she was derby.
You
and
know,
she's now the coach for the Booney Bitches.
I heard it wasn't too long ago that they actually won a bout, and she at the after party did do a drop in.
Oh, no way.
Real?
She can still go. She can still skate.
And she can keg stand with the kids still too. She doesn't brag about it, but she definitely could.
Maybe.
Wow. So it should be firmly established at this point that this is the real world. This is the place where you're becoming a person. And then you have to go back to school.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Right? It's like this is where you're learning the really important stuff. And you also have a 0-hour class.
It's just another manic Monday. Guys.
Don't want to waste time with my education. I want to go learn stuff.
But that certainly is where we find ourselves after engaging in a profound civic duty, removing the graffiti street art.
Right.
In our previous adventure, you can feel very confident that the C team, obviously this is an incredible project, a profound public-private partnership between Northwood and the Meade School District and also Minnie Drawn, who has some very powerful ideas about how to just help bring talented, unique youths back from that edge, and toward that project, Minnie Drawn did found the C team. The local representative, of course, here for this 0-hour class at Nerdwood is Mrs. Dolores Droma, a unrelentingly positive functionary who has incredible new supplies. Describe for me how you enter in this next Monday, this manic Monday, filing into this class. Just give me a little snapshot of your character as they come in to this radiant bureaucratic sunbeam.
Chris, can I use you in my scene?
Yeah.
Okay. Chris has been there for half an hour already.
I was going to say, already there early.
Yep. And you are neck deep in some computer nerd shit. Like these 4 computers that we have in this room are completely unheard of in the rest of the school, right? So
Yeah.
you're in there, and you can tell me what you're working on, but Rosie is the next one to arrive, and she sees you, and she's just like, oh, God, you nerds ruin everything.
Did you say that out loud?
Yes.
Now, it's like Chris says in character, did you say that out loud? No, I'm just kidding.
That's the ultimate meta moment.
Yeah. No, the Chris, still oblivious, would say, but not really paying attention though. Wow, they sure do. Like
Just
thinking,
agreeable.
yeah, it's like how's the weather type of
Yeah.
like I hate nerds. Yeah, they're the worst. Terrible.
Whatever we're talking about. Let me get synced up with that.
I am looking up. Oh wait,
Yeah.
but you could notice is that
Okay.
I'm looking up like terribly pixelated, DOS
Boobs.
era. Yeah, exactly. No, like they look like maps. They are city like maps.
Oh.
And I before I realized that you're somebody who's tends to be mean to me, I just am muttering to you like, this is the future. Like everything, we would have everything available. Like there's so much that you could learn, and it's all here. Like we won't need books anymore even.
I invade your personal space extremely closely. I get up and I'm squinting over your shoulder. I'm like, what is that you're looking at?
It's called CompuServe.
Ugh.
And it's going to change the way we learn and the way we think. They're going to have to reorganize cities around how these databases work.
I seriously doubt it. But I look at the map. Do I recognize what map you're looking at?
It's just it's a map of our
Of our town.
town. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
fact that it's being represented in this way, it's like, do you want to know where all the gas stations are? Look. And then
On the desk next to Chris's hand, there is a piece of paper that is crumpled that says, the Husky Herald. Stretch those legs, Huskies. Varsity track meetup is on the 5th of this month. Signed, your principal, Miss Grant.
God, she's
I
everywhere.
throw it to the ground. I crumple it further.
No.
There's no time.
No.
I already worked my buns. I'm going to exercise the buns of the mind.
I do
next.
notice that you're sitting a little taller in your computer chair.
You've got the DOMs. You're actually like limping because you've been working out too much.
The
Yeah.
T-Rex arms.
It takes me
Yeah,
time
yeah.
to get up because I'm so sore.
No, they're just foreshortened, just from the tension and tightness. Who else is popping in?
I would come in late, aloof, slouched over, and according to this quick 5-second Googling I did, Douglas would have a Walkman on. Headphones.
Oh, dude, and it's like the Sony, like the real legit with like the folding clasp.
Brand
it's like
name.
bright
No.
yellow.
It's the D50, which came out. This takes place in '86. Came out before then. It's the first CD Walkman.
Oh no,
Probably-
God!
Stupid expensive. CDs were not
God.
prevalent in '86. This is a flex for.
So what CD is in there? What's the one CD
Is
that he
there
has?
one in there?
Yeah,
Is there
it's
one?
a CD.
I don't know if this takes place. It was before '86. Huey Lewis in the news. Sports.
Nice. Sports jams.
No, Huey Lewis in the news. Sports. That's the name of the album.
Oh, there's.
Yeah.
Come on, are you not a Huey Lewis fan? Am I the only Huey Lewis fan?
And then
I love
yes,
Back to the Future.
Seeing that and you're listening to it, right, to yourself, and then I nudge Rosie. I'm like, the future. We can't stop it. The future's coming. Look at this. It's this is the singularity. We're there now. We're already here.
Kathy, because you've been getting this ride in the morning with her and her mom, Kathy has sort of like walked with you up to the door. She's probably just going to go to the gym for the rest of the morning and then do the rest of her school day. But what she sees in this room, this like unique selection of people, and these devices and all this kind of stuff. This is the face that she makes for the podcast. Imagine the gritted teeth weirded out emoji. It's just like she's just like disturbed by this configuration and physically backs away so that she can keep her eyes on it. And then she disappears around the corner. And then my guess is that she probably sees you, Danny, on the way in.
No, I've been here the whole time. Nobody noticed me.
Oh, really? Dude, that's even better.
The
Even
walnut.
when they were talking.
Oh, no, exactly. No. I'm saying that would be great too. It's just like you and Chris are both there early, but like not even really noticing each other.
I would say that
You definitely got there first, Chris.
I got there first, but I would say that when you come in, I pointedly was not noticing you because I didn't want to seem too eager to talk to you. And now I've taken it too far, and I've completely have ignored.
Yeah, and
the
you didn't
entire
say
early
anything,
time.
so
And I
I'm
didn't
like,
say
oh
anything.
god, I'm not saying anything. He's gonna think that I'm a weirdo, and I'm just like, if the computers are like this way, I'm just like on the opposite one from you, just like hiding behind the monitor.
Right.
And at this
And
point, it's like it's been too long. It would
It's
be
way too
weird if
long.
one of you talked at this point.
Yeah, there's no
Absolutely.
way to break this.
All right. And then there's a few staccato claps from the front of the class. And Mrs. Droma says, "Hallelujah, kids. Today, you're going to church." That's going to be our pause for our break. We will come right back with more C Team. Don't go nowhere. Hello, and welcome back to Test C Teams. When last we saw our heroes, they had just been informed by C Team functionary, Mrs. Dolores Droma, about an exciting opportunity to provide free labor for a local church revival. We now we now return to these dark revelations now in session. So 3 claps. Hallelujah, we're going to church. Now, what are the relationships that we have here, character-wise, with these Sunday activities?
And that's for people who are not thinking about the practicality of dealing with the land.
Yeah, this is my suspicion is that even if a lot of your neighbors do, Sunday is not a day off.
Yeah, Sunday is
Right.
much like any other day.
Yeah. It just is pronounced differently.
I don't like having to go. You go, Chris.
Oh no! It's an aside that was worthless. You proceed.
Excellent. No, I've my whole family, massive. Let's just go
Yeah.
ahead and say that I have 14 siblings.
Yeah.
Why not? And it's a huge family. And we go to church every Sunday.
Absolutely.
My mom makes us go. My dad is more lax about it. So if mom's ever gone for whatever, dad doesn't make us go. But Rosie actually likes it, not because of the religious aspect of it. She keeps no gods, but she loves the gossip.
Oh,
She
sure.
loves the spying on people and trying to figure out what's going on in their family dynamic. Like
Mhm.
this is a hub,
research.
a hotbed of information. Yeah. So she always has her notebook with her at church as well. And everybody thinks that she's just like such a little student of God. But really, like this is like the church that she's attending is one of information gathering.
Yeah. And so if I picture it, I see it as something like you and your siblings. It's probably a situation where every 3 of you shares a Bible.
Yeah, we don't have our own Bible until we turn 15, and then we get our own Bible.
Yeah. Well, then when you turn 15, then you get the mini New Testament.
Yes, that's right. Teen Bible.
Right. Exactly. And it's possible that one of your brothers has like a picture Bible.
Yeah. Yeah.
the spine of which is visible, having
They're passed
thoroughly peeled away.
Yeah.
Just as an aside, I read the picture Bible probably 20 times.
Hell yeah.
Spent a
Picture
lot of
Bible
time
rules.
with the picture Bible.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. I was surprised I didn't really understand that they were abridged versions of the stories.
They cut out all the chaff,
It's a little bit different.
Get
Well,
to
they
the
kept
action.
unfortunately, they kept the chaff.
Oh no.
A lot of the chaff remained. Now, so Donald, D. So
Donald's fine.
how's it going? Like over in the Blitzen household, is that like you got to be seen there type situation?
Yeah, I think so. I hadn't actually considered this part of the character. So as I'm like sitting here thinking, like, I would say, yeah, everyone has to go. Donald wouldn't particularly like it.
Douglas.
Who is Dougie?
I said Donald.
Dougie Fresh. Oh, Donald is your dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
You know, we're jumping down your throat for no reason.
that's fine. But like you have to keep up appearances. Yeah,
For sure. And my
Douglas
guess
rolls his eyes at it, but
Yeah.
is dragged along. But it's very much a patriarchal thing, right? Like
yes.
I'm thinking like his dad is very Christian conservative to a degree. Probably
Well,
like
I'm from
very
this
suit and
place.
tie, very abrupt. Yeah.
It barely constitutes fiction.
Yeah.
So, but also it should definitely be said that Kathy makes this experience much more tolerable.
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably
Right.
what.
Yeah, exactly. And it has only happened once during Sunday school. At any rate, the teen breakout for Sunday school, right? It's only happened once that they had to place a Bible between you and provide a little space there.
Oh.
It should be established that you weren't doing anything, because a key crucial part of your relationship is that it's eminently deniable,
Yeah.
because that's what allows you to continue spending time together. But whatever the Sunday school teacher saw, she felt that only a Bible could inoculate against it. So we move on. We move on right here. And she says, well, they're an out-of-town, very exciting organization called the Refuge. In town for just a couple weeks. Classic hootin' and hollerin', old school revival. It's high energy. I understand that there's a lot of youth activities, a lot of praise and worship, and a lot of opportunities to maybe consider some of the choices that we're making in our lives right now. Of course, that synchronizes it up with Minnie Drawn's firm belief, a faith, if you will, in the types of public-private partnerships that make this country so great.
Yes.
Yes, Rosie.
Hi, my mom, we're Lutherans, and so I really don't think that she would enjoy me going to any kind of revival, like a church thing. I think I need a permission slip or something for this one. I should probably just sit it out.
Wait, I've actually already talked to your mother about this,
Nightmare.
and it's fine.
Did you also talk to my mother, because we're Orthodox, and I also think that she had told me that revival, it's too rowdy.
Well, when I when I called, I spoke to the man that I think is your father.
Oh, yeah.
He seemed as though he was quite busy, but he said yes several times during the course of our conversation, and I felt that there was an affirmative energy to the conversation.
Well, that's as long as somebody signed off on it, I guess.
You're telling me you cleared this with the Colonel at my house? We're New Wave Presbyterian. I can't believe he would say yes to this.
My understanding is that your father actually has a few contacts here with the refuge.
Yeah, he might.
He might.
Yeah.
And Danny, do you have something to complain about?
Yeah, I don't know what any of these words mean. I'm not going to be any help.
Well, do you know the words shovel and trench? Because you're going to be digging very long trenches with shovels all afternoon.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that's
absolutely.
not so bad.
This is part of the program.
How is this helping my education?
I have a stack of documents.
Hooting and hollering. It doesn't sound like hooting or hollering.
Yeah, I have a stack of documents. Well, I mean, the hooting and the hollering is the result of the trenches. This is the thing. I would say this is the issue with youth in general, and this is why Minidron's program is so powerful. Is that it teaches us to couple this difficult labor and the celebration that results. The issue now is that young people like yourselves only want the celebration, forgotten completely about the trench. The trench in this case is metaphorical, but also literal because you'll be digging them.
Yeah, you probably did talk to the Colonel. Redemption through labor is not an uncommon phrase in our house.
One of the touchstones of this game is that they really emphasize it over and over again that just adults don't understand anything.
Yep, totally.
Adults just don't understand.
They just don't get it at all. They don't understand any of it at all. Now, if they're your anchor, of course, they can fix the broken condition.
But that's it. That's the only use they have.
Beyond that, and Mrs. Droma says that as much as I would love to continue chewing this gristle with the four of you, the bus is here, and it's time to get a move on.
Hey, I stand up, but slower than I thought I would. Gather my heavy backpack. Oh yeah, I'm real sore, and sort of limp out of the room.
I imagine since there's only 4 of us going and presumably an adult driving, that it's a short bus. And
Yo, absolutely. Yeah, this is definitely an activity bus. Yeah.
And this is like, for no reason, just deeply embarrassing. Just because Rosie doesn't want to be different. She wants to like fit in exactly. And getting on a small bus is just different from getting on a long bus. And so she's just like making sure nobody can see, because this clearly means that something unusual is happening to her and it is not acceptable. So she's checking for witnesses as she boards the bus extremely reluctantly.
It's like the version of like a limo showing up where you're like, okay, well, there's gotta be an occasion. You're like, no, nobody. Don't. This is all they had. Don't make anything of it.
I was gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say, like, Douglas gathers up his books in a huff and just goes, "There's only 4 of us. Why do we even need a bus? 4 people could fit in a car."
We could have met there.
We've found there's efficiencies elsewhere in the system, and we're occasionally able to leverage them locally. Just get on the bus.
The bus says it's painted with like the C team, and then in quotation marks and italic text under there, it says "for very special boys and girls."
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
We're like, oh no,
no. And then it's 2 things, right? And then the one side, gosh, this is the other kind. Let's do it this way. This will be a delight. There's a group of children of various ages and modes of dress all together, one of which sort of like behind like the largest has an arm raised in the air, and it says, "We're getting better every day."
Yes. We're trying. Oh no.
Have you ever
youngsters?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Have you ever seen like Susan Orlean?
Yeah.
Is that the author I'm thinking of?
I'm familiar with this name.
No, it's a.
Is that the name of her book?
Don't
Yeah, no,
get
she's no. It's there's a fine. Oh, Susie Orman. No, it's Susie Orman.
Oh yeah, the finance.
Orlean wrote the Arc Thief. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Suze Orman. She's
yeah.
got like finance books for children. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
that.
what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all, I hate people.
And so, but this is a thing. So once you get onto the bus proper, you, the camera, of course, sort of goes over the bus and looks at the other side. And on that side, it says the C Team, mini drawn founder. And in like a powerful silver vest, her arms folded over it, there is a look of icy determination and a tiny smile, and very like short cropped, like platinum frosted hair. Mini drawn founder.
Is she? I imagine she's wearing like a really tall statement necklace.
Yeah, it's very geometric pattern.
Right.
A lot of structure. That sigh is correct, Danny. That's the correct sigh. That's the sigh I was hoping to elicit.
I want a point of clarification. In the 80s and 90s, the word special was like a euphemism for that, like the handicapped kids or the special needs kids. Or
sure.
That is not the special that we're talking about here.
No.
This is actually just the idea of being considered different in any space was just it's anathema for Rosie.
They had that. God, they had it when
the
like
tag
in
program.
the 90s. Yeah, it was the tag or the G&T program, and it was just like, and like table talk, awful. Awful.
Yeah, I mean, it really, the primary effect that it had was to completely alienate its members from every other student.
Yes.
Forever.
Forever.
Like change schools. You're
puts you-
done.
Was tag with the academically gifted? Is that what that's?
Talented and gifted.
Talented and gifted. Oh no!
I'm here to tell you right now, other kids do not like you. Listen, the fact of the matter is that they probably didn't like you already. That doesn't help.
Nope. And they ship you to another school. Why couldn't you just do it at your own school? Who knows? Anyway.
They do. They ship you all the way across town. You leave for the whole day.
Yeah. And also we learned Russian. Like, what was happening?
We got Latin with you. Japanese. It was Sage in PA.
Oh, Sage. Oh, great.
Yeah. It's funny. I never got no one ever gave me crap about it. Everyone was jealous that I got to leave. I got to get up in the middle of class and be like, got gifted. See ya, dorks.
Yeah. That was just for me. It was like, yeah, sorry, this is table talk.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll cover this later. But for the moment, for the scene, I want to say like Rosie looks like she's like, gulp. Oh no, I don't want to be one of those tag kids. And then she looks around to see if there are witnesses. There are so many because we are leaving the school as the first group of school buses is arriving, and like the kids are dumping out of these school buses and they're all looking at us.
Oh yeah, because they're getting dropped off right at the end of 0 hour, right?
Yep.
And it's on full display, and you're right there like in a cameo. Your faces are right there to be associated with this scourge.
God,
now,
why?
Scene wise, this can go a lot of different ways. I have a bunch of unique scenes that take place over the several days of preparing for this modern ritual space.
Oh, that's right, because we can like jump in time.
Exactly. We can jump all around. You can explore it as you like. But like I say, I have a bunch of individual things, but they drop you off, and it looks like there might be students even from other schools helping to erect a sequence of massive festival tents. There's two smaller sort of breakout tents, and then an authentically impressive big top looking structure in the center. And luckily, a lot of this work has taken place already.
I just keep hearing like poor unfortunate souls playing.
This seems illegal to employ this many children.
And yet,
Yeah.
And yet,
and
but
yet,
it's a public-private partnership. Um,
What are you gonna do?
there we
Getting
go.
a real Dumbo vibe from this.
oh God.
So are we hearing? Is there any like? Is it just the sound of construction and preparation, or is there any kind of music, any kind of a?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Okay,
it's almost imagine that there's I mean from out here in the broadest area, you can't really see the origin points of these sounds, but it's clear that there's beginning even now to spin up their praise and worship operation. They're testing the PAs. Right, they're getting the place spun up to help these lost souls.
Let's see.
Eh.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just trying to, for a point of clarification. So have we jumped forward, or is this like we just got off the bus?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just saying that like from here we can do any type of scene you want. You can explore this area, then we can move forward from there. I can suggest scenes as well. I'm just saying that it's up to us, but it's more up to you than it would be in another game, because we can have scenes that don't take place necessarily underneath this big top. We're just in the middle part of the movie where all this stuff happens, right?
What are you thinking, Douglas?
I'm thinking, I from a storytelling perspective, I think like we're getting off the bus, someone meets us, we're introduced to some character, and then immediately handed a shovel.
Yeah.
And just like start digging.
Yeah. There's a bunch of shovels, essentially like in a large gray plastic garbage can full of shovels, essentially, that has sort of been like wheeled up to where the buses are coming out, and it's just it's holes. It's the movie Holes.
Now, hang on. No.
I think the sooner we start, the sooner we can get this done, and the sooner we'll go back to school. And then, no, I don't want to see anybody at school. Let's try and do a really good job here, really thorough job, and then maybe we'll go home directly after.
Yeah, like we'll start as we start digging, just looking around and taking inventory. Like, I mean, after we're done digging, do we leave? We don't have to attend this, do we?
That is not part of the rich public-private partnership that's been enunciated.
This is what I'm saying to the other characters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. No, and we won't. And I refuse and no.
All right, listen, I have leadership. I have excellent leadership skills. So I'm going to rally the troops here and be like, look, for once, Chris is right. If we just get this done, then maybe we can go back to school and actually do some learning and start to repair our incredibly damaged reputations. So I think you guys should just all grab a shovel, and I will make sure that the trench is the right shape. Okay? What do you
I'm
think?
already digging.
You know what?
I'm dirty. I have my jacket off.
I'm doing that thing where you watch someone dig a hole, but it's like very integral to the process. And I'm like, yep. And over there.
So hold on a second. So the situation here is that the management structure of this adventuring party has fully 2 separate levels of management.
Yes.
I did a leadership role.
Yeah.
And I got 2 6s.
Ooh.
Oh, well, that's really great. What that means, just because this game has a neat way of doing it, what that means is that you have, for the duration of this process and toward this task, you have 4 dice you can offer your friends to help them succeed. Like it's one of the coolest skills in any RPG.
That's why I wanted to take an opportunity to learn, because I was like, my dice pool's empty.
Yeah, exactly. No, but this dice pool is based on this speech. It's based on a specific context, right? Later on in the game, you could do another leadership role, but it would be for another task.
Okay, so these are just for
digging
a trench.
Use them up. Well, no, it's for digging a trench or doing whatever has to be done this afternoon so that you can get the fuck out of here.
Okay, great.
Whatever needs to be
So,
done.
so I'm digging.
Yeah, yeah.
is-
And the
and you're all
trench
watching?
areas, exactly. The trench areas are staked off with there's tiny rods of like there's little wooden stakes that have that pink sort of like stretchy ribbon tape tied around, and they sort of like form little trenches around, and you can tell that it's for power that comes from the presumption, of course, is that it's for generators and stuff like that, because they're building a little god city here very briefly.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm also digging. I'm not probably. I don't know if I'm doing as good a job, but I'm like, if everybody at school is gonna make fun of us for being here, I say we could switch it around on them. What if we walk in and we're like pretending that it was fun and really cool to be here, and then they're gonna wonder what they missed out on.
Oh, that's incredible.
When we go back covered in dirt and sweat, you want to act like.
Well, I'm not gonna feel good, but But if I act like I had a great time, and we were all being friends, and maybe we were, seemed like we were friends, it would sell it better.
A,
Look at Rose's
no one would ever believe it if I said that we were friends. B, I've known you since the 3rd grade and you have never lied to anyone. So why
Yeah.
are you going to start now?
Because it's the difference between lying and getting beat up.
I want to say the hole you're digging is in the right spot. It's smaller, but in the right spot. And I'm just digging massive trenches, like not where they're supposed to be. So eventually someone's going to come over and yell at us. But like, I go, you worry way too much about what other people think, man. Like, which seems comforting. And then just go, you'll never change their mind. The book's been written on you, dude. Don't even worry about it.
The book's been written. That's so upsetting. Oof. That's it. That's just it.
KO.
Yeah, exactly.
They hate you.
Yeah, you're
Just lie down in the trench.
yeah. I was gonna say you can do double duty.
You've just been digging your own shallow grave.
Right. Nice of a.
It's like the fact that it starts as like what could be misinterpreted as a compliment. Like, yeah, don't worry about what other people think.
Right. Yeah. It's like,
Never
don't
win them
waste your
over.
own time. Yeah. This is not. They're not getting rehabilitated. Yeah. So the work proceeds.
Can I do while I'm supervising? I assume
Yeah.
Danny and I are both supervising.
Yes, double.
Yes, but I know what I'm doing. So I have like technical words for it.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Like, I don't know, like actual practical advice. And what kind of advice do you have, Rosie?
I think my advice is more along like you say things like hang on, let me Google some trench words. Digging a
No,
trench.
I just meant like I'm giving advice on like, like, oh my God, please stop lifting with your back, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you're like everyone's gonna like something social, some social like
Yes.
Like more spine.
Yeah, and I'm
more
like,
spine.
if you get dirt on your clothes there, it's never gonna come out.
No, this is perfect. Because so if I'm digging a massive destructive hole and Chris is digging a good, smaller but constructive hole, he's listening to Danny. I'm listening to Rosie.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, we're here to dig trenches. Listen, Doug, we are gonna dig the biggest trenches, the best trenches. They want trenches. By gum, we're digging trenches. So Douglas is just a trench digging machine spurred on by this little Rosie riding him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, so then Danny sees this and it's like, all right, slow and steady. We're here all day. Don't burn yourself out. Don't burn yourself out in the first hour.
I don't have to go that deep. Like, how big could the cables be that they're trying to hide? Like this? Like this? I only have
Are
to
they
go
hiding
down,
cables? Is that why we're digging this trench?
And then cut back to us, and it's just Rosie barking, and I'm like, like a groundhog burrowing through a golf course.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so good.
I imagine
love
Danny's. Go ahead, Danny.
I was just gonna say, I love that Chris and I are having a very thoughtful conversation about like how deep does a cable need to be laid before it is like damaged by like a truck driving over the earth above it.
Yeah.
And y'all are just like,
Yeah. It's like waist deep. It's like 2 feet wide, waist deep, and I'm just like,
Danny, I imagine you're saying stuff like, man, if we had a compact excavator, this would be so much such an easier
No,
task.
you're like rent it for one afternoon.
yeah, and I'm like, I got a permit for that.
Yeah, at least a tiller, like that. Anything.
Okay, Betty Google.
Yeah. So at this point, after there's been an opportunity to see these divergent techniques made manifest in the real world, a man who is dressed perhaps more for the stage than for manual labor appears out of a tent flap, takes in the scene, takes in the situation, and directs his attentions toward Dee and Rosie, and says, "Hey, aren't you Donald's kid?"
I stop, and I look up, and I kind of wipe my brow, and I go, "What are you, the ringmaster?"
Wow.
He laughs, and it's hard to know if he laughs because he finds it actually funny, or if he knows that the correct social maneuver here is to deflect it.
Suck up to the colonel's kid
and minimize it. Right? He says, "Is this your friend?" And he extends a hand out to you, Rosie.
It is the most milquetoast dead fish handshake. I mean, she's a 12-year-old girl, but even for that, it's pretty uninspiring.
Yeah. You feel enervated just doing it. Like you shake a person's hand like this and you lose energy. He says, Douglas, right?
I stopped digging again. Like once he stopped talking to me, I started digging again.
Yeah.
And I stopped digging again. And I just like wipe and I go, yeah.
He says, the blitzer, and he kind of gets in low and gives a couple quick punches to the midsection.
Yeah. I go,
He's like,
"No, you mister."
He's like, "Son, you don't gotta come in the front door. Here, come with me. Bring your friend."
Now the idea that I get now special treatment and get to stop. Now I'm like, oh yes, now we're pals.
Right. The next time it occurs to Chris and Danny to look up or compare, they're gone.
What? Does it look like it's done, or like,
no? The shovel is still in the hole.
Okay, so when I see that a job is left undone, I just look over and just instantly I'm like, all right, well that tracks.
Fair.
So he walks the two of you in the main tent, the largest, the vast majority of which has been. I mean, the structure is present. They need the rest of this. They need the rest of this labor out there to make it a functional place. But even now, chairs. I mean, on the order of, you think that there's probably 800 people that could be seated inside this tent.
I have this moment, this kid thing that I used to do all the time, where I kind of take on a little bossiness because I love bossing other people around. But yeah, believe it or not. But I take on this bossiness. And I'm like, hold on, and I lean out the tent flap and I go, Chris, Danny, come on.
because I also don't want to be. I don't want anything to happen to them. So there's this half
Oh.
responsibility, but half just like I want to boss them around and tell them what to do.
And there's a flex too,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
right?
It's a whole
Absolutely.
ass flex that I hate.
And after our interworld travel, there's maybe some sort of like obligation we all have for each other at a certain
That's
level.
true. Yeah, like I worry about the safety. Anything could happen.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe
But I'd never
they're
admit
going
it.
to get some tools or something that'll make the job easier.
No, that's okay. let's just go see what.
As you enter in, and you can see that like just the perfect. It's essentially like 4 columns of chairs that go up to the stage, like the riser stage, and they're currently not plugged in. There's no amplification, but you can see the least threatening band imaginable practicing and tuning up their instruments up on the stage.
When you say like least threatening band, you mean like squeaky clean?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got it. This is like okay. Yes.
There's not a lot of edge there.
Back to sucking up to adults, by the way. So this
Yeah.
adult that escorted us in, once I see that Danny and Chris have made it in and they've followed my instructions and I'm satisfied with their performance, I turn back to this adult and I'm like, so how do you know Mr. Blitzen?
He says, "Oh, me and Donald, we played some college football together."
Have
That's
you ever
pretty
seen this
cool.
guy before, Douglas?
Have I seen this guy before?
I'm trying to think. You know how it is, like with your parents' friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like probably. Like you don't know if you'd get in a car with this guy, but
Yeah.
he's the sort of person that your dad hangs out with.
That makes me not like him more.
Exactly, but he's like yeah, we played a little bit of little football, and then he says, and then with like a little 1-2 jab punch combo, he says, "Go Cougs."
Yeah. I go so I don't like this guy, and I just go like, so this is going to be quite the little carnival here. You're going to have one of those guys that bites the heads off chickens.
He laughs. He knows that the only thing that he can do is just apply this self-effacing antidote every time he's challenged.
That's only going to make it worse.
Oh no, it's
You're
gonna
let a
get
kid bully you around. This kid's going to get worse.
so behind the stage, the signage drape descends, and behind these anodyne young men is
This is the name of the band.
is a big sign to the anodyne young men. It's a AYM
Yeah,
for
don't
the
worry.
insider. It says the big reset, and the date is 2 days from now.
Big reset. Oh, wow.
I was just reading about this.
I think they call it the Great Reset, but I had already named this by the time I knew.
Oh, that's
about it.
fine.
But honestly, it's probably the same.
It's all the same idea.
Yeah.
What is this? Is it some Nexium stuff? What we get into?
Yeah.
We in a dick cult?
Is this one of those dick cults?
Hi, I'm Dick Cult, and I'm here to talk to you today about the Great Reset.
Oh.
So there is you can see people like moving around boxes of pamphlets and just doing everything they can to get ready, and they're moving them with such enthusiasm that occasionally, very occasionally, a pamphlet does fall out and find its way to the ground.
and find its way into my grubby little paws.
Perfect.
Let's see this pamphlet.
It says it's I mean, clearly just back from Kinko's.
Still warm.
Yeah, exactly. Like still sort of kept warm in the box. Like you can smell like the fresh ink transfer. And on the cover, it's just come to the refuge and be born again.
Standard church revival.
A little too loud, musing to myself near this fellow, this adult. I say, the big reset. I don't know about it. Certainly is a big tent, sir.
He says, a big tent for a big reset. And he taps your shoulder twice.
How does it work?
He says,
how does a tent work, sir? No.
He says, well, son, are you, do you do much reading of the Bible?
I've made two, yes.
He says, are you conversant in the book of Colossians?
Not off the top of my head, but I'm sure it is in the Bible that I have.
And then before the sentence even ends, he says, your old self has died and your new life is kept with Christ in God. Yes, Christ is now your life, and when he comes again, you will share in his glory. So put everything evil out of your life. And then his eyes drift briefly over the rest of the group, and he says, sexual sin, doing anything immoral, letting sinful thoughts control you, wanting things that are wrong. We believe in forgiveness here, but we also believe in hard work. And we have a path that we think we can offer people. Is there anything that you regret? Is there anything that you are thinking about? Is there anything that weighs on your spirit that you wish maybe you could do over?
Sure, yes. Who doesn't have something like that? I think that's pretty universal.
Well, what if I told you that in Christ Jesus, all things are possible?
I believe it. Amen. That.
All right, now. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, Douglas would jump in here, just not liking this guy and where this is going, and just be like, yeah, Oshkosh Kalash, love him, he's great. I put my hands on Chris. I go, please don't convert my Chris. And then I look at Rosie and I go, our Chris. And I start pulling him away because he seems like he's being sucked into whatever this guy's saying.
Absolutely. Now, if somebody else has something that they want their character to do or say in this scene, let me know. Because of course, in the movie, after somebody says all things are possible through Christ Jesus, we have to move scenes, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the music swells and stops there.
Right.
And we have to explore this from a different perspective.
And we might now be back having finished our trench work.
Yeah.
I just want it to be known. She didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But she is steaming. But can say nothing. Because anything she would say would,
Yeah.
Would I don't know. You should indict herself, basically.
The idea of an adult man saying the words sexual sin within moments of meeting you is truly horrifying to Rosie. Like,
can you imagine?
We don't talk about this stuff. I'm 12 and I have a vague idea of what's going on, but like, we don't talk about it. No one has ever given me the, like, your special changing body talk. And the idea of someone
you don't have the book.
No, I don't know. Like, what is sexual sin? I have an idea that has something to do with your butt, and that's it. And I'm terrified of what it could possibly be.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
I think like as he's proselytizing, that's when we're like backing away. So he's like everything he's saying where you can find redemption in Jesus.
Understand.
It's like over our shoulders as we're like going out the door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
understand too that I'm not staying put like, wow, this is really cool. I'm saying it as a dismissive, like I have to go to church too, and yes, I pray to that God also. No, you don't need no work to be done here. Else I gotta go back to my trenches.
We're all full up on God's thanks. None for me. Oh, I couldn't possibly. No.
Yeah. All right. So now we can explore this refuge from a couple other perspectives. I have prompts for scenes. If you would like one, Rosie.
Yes, please prompt me.
So your
Prompt
book,
me, Daddy.
your sexual sin.
Interesting.
Your book obviously includes a substantial amount of content on people that specifically events and activities perhaps that they would like to redo as well.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
And it has become clear that there are that a few very reliable sources that you dominate by virtue of this secret information.
Mm-hmm.
That some interest in this refuge reset is starting to spread around, starting to maneuver a bit in your zone of control. There's a few people that think maybe they have a way out from underneath.
Oh, okay. So let me interpret this. What you're saying in a very Jerry way is that the refuge people think that they can cleanse themselves of the blackmail that Rosie is holding over their head by coming to this tent revival and doing whatever this is.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. Getting forgiveness
not good.
maybe from another source.
That's not good. That doesn't work for me. No. No, I'm not into it. So I'm like, as we're following this guy around, if that is indeed what happens, I'm doing these whatever tiny amounts of sabotage I can. So I'm like pushing over a chair, loosening a tent pole with my hand as we go
Not
past.
digging a trench.
Not digging a trench. The most critical part of a tent revival.
Oh no.
The
Here,
bathroom.
here. Yeah, exactly. So you sort of there are sort of cutouts inside the tent proper, something establishing something like, especially near the back and the sign, like a green room, essentially, just a small sort of tarped out area. And you can hear people, in this game, in another game, I'd be like, give me a perception check. But in this one, you can just hear it when it is interesting or
Nope.
you can just hear things that people say that are cool.
Nice. I love
this
these
is-
things.
It's like you have ears.
This is
In
not
this game,
cool in the
yes.
classic sense.
Game's got ears.
Right. And you hear someone like in this back room, you hear someone saying, I'm getting a message right now. I'm getting a message right now from God.
Jesus.
And he says, your mother is very sick, isn't she? Do you wish that you'd done more? And then there's a pause. And then he says, something like that?
Holy fucking shit, I say out loud. No.
Dude, but like that 12-year-old, like I think that we all knew that 12-year-old that said these words.
In a PG-13 movie, you're allowed one.
Holy
That's the
peek?
time to do
fluffing
it. Yeah.
ships.
Can I, holy fluffing ships. Can I kind of fall back and peek into this green room, please?
Yeah. So you want to sort of sneak away a little bit?
Yeah, I just want to
Just give me the sneak. Just give me the sneak.
Excellent. I can sneak.
Give me the sneak, boys.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for sneak, and I got 1, 6. Yay!
Hey, that's all it takes. So it's not super smooth.
Dun,
But
dun.
this person loves hearing themselves talk, and so you're able to sort of get over and peek a little bit.
Okay.
Sneak peek.
A
Yep.
sneak peek. Yep. And is this who's in here? Is who's talking to each other?
Well, imagine a universe that can just stamp out slightly younger versions of the person who had been leading you around.
Okay.
And there's at least 3 of them
Oh wow.
in
All
here.
right.
You don't know if the machine that makes them is near.
You
So-
describe them as anodyne?
Well, I was just going to say, imagine a situation. Have we all played Gauntlet?
Sure.
There's a device in Gauntlet that just produces monsters.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
You think that it might be close.
Is this
Um,
another cloning thing?
No, not this
Okay.
time.
Cool.
But as you approach, it's like, yes, that's close. That's close. Let's workshop this a little bit. And he's like, and obviously, we're gonna have people planted in the office, planted out in the audience, and they look over toward the flat.
I dash back. No, I don't want to be seen, but I've got enough information to know that this is all a fraud, and that's exactly what I knew it was going to be. Me, I know me. I'm the detective.
Yep. There
You did
is so
Harriet's a spy.
inside that side
Yes.
inside that side aperture, before you pull away, you see something that looks like a canister, like a barrel. There's a lot of supplies in these side areas.
Okay.
This particular one has it looks like a barrel that it has a gauge on it. So imagine something like a taller pressurized tank.
Oh my God.
And
I've only seen this in cartoons, and it's always explosive.
yeah. And so there are 2 of them in here, and on the front of them it says a capital O and a lowercase s.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay, so
Jesus. All right.
I consult. I'm only 12. I've only taken a little bit of like biology. Does that ring a bell as like an element that I would have seen in the periodic table?
It would look like, yeah, exactly. It would look
Okay.
like it would look to you like
OS.
How big is this thing?
It's a barrel.
there's 2 sort of canisters of it, and again, as I said before, there's some kind of gauge attached to them.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
What color are these canisters?
Blue.
Blue. Okay. Blue. Okay, that's not good. That
Almost like a
seems-
cobalt blue.
What Rosie has put together instantaneously in her mind is that they are luring all of the reluctant and regretful people of Spokane and surrounding environs, and that they're going to use this OS to like gas the tent and then control them from the inside. And that's like, she hurries back, and the first moment she gets alone, she's gonna try to tell you guys.
I mean, that tracks. Is that not what they do?
Yeah. It's a
Wait,
revival.
is this not that?
Is it?
Kind of hot takes on religion here, Rosie.
No, but I mean, like, why else would you go? Oh, okay.
I've never had it happen in my church, but I guess it could be something that happens in other churches.
Our church is
guess.
an Orthodox one, and they have the censer that they swing around with the incense in there. So maybe it's a vat of that.
Oh, okay.
Although OS is osmium, and I'm assuming that's super heavy.
Oh my God. It's actually super useful information, but she spends a good like 20 seconds making sure that Chris does not feel good about having given this information, and then immediately turns to Douglas and says, okay, osmium.
The tank full of osmium.
I mean, it might not be that. It's just those are what those letters mean. Maybe it
Okay.
used to have osmium in it, and now it's got the mind control gas.
What's osmium?
Yeah, Chris, what's osmium?
It's
What
the
is-
osmium?
densest element.
What is it used for? Can it be used to
That
control
I
people?
don't know. Although
Oh.
maybe I would, maybe a little character Chris might know.
Yeah, would you have like a
character Chris
way of
might
finding
know.
that information? Yeah.
Yeah. So character Chris has had a conversation with his own father that it isn't considered one of the things that the loop produces like for sale. Like it isn't one of the things that it does as an industrial process that is the end point of something that we want.
Right.
It's a waste product.
Yeah.
It's a waste product of the processes, like the sort of strange processes that power the loop. And it's this immensely heavy, waste product that has some industrial uses, but is really not the purpose of it isn't designed to reuse it or.
Right.
It's there to be gotten buried like toxic waste.
Yeah. I yield this information to the group.
Is that what the trench is for?
You
Not my
put this
trench.
osmium in the ground.
You said it's supposed to be
deeper.
disposed of. Is that no?
What were they doing with it in their tent?
FYI, they're in there practicing all the lies that they're going to tell people, but they're just hanging out next to two
Yeah, the Bible.
giant.
They're reading the Bible.
There's whoa, a bleak take. They're just two giant barrels with gauges on them, and like they look like something out of like Wile E. Coyote. That's all I could tell.
Wile E. Coyote. Has that been invented yet? Just checking.
Yeah.
No, it has.
Luckily, it's already been around for about 50 years.
Yeah, you're safe. You never know. You never know when you're in the 80s what's safe. That's a good one.
So if this is a waste product from the loop, then my mind would say the loop functions around here somewhere. Like if you're getting the runoff from it, then is there some sort of hidden loop mechanism somewhere?
Yeah. Why would they be? You'd have to build your tent city here on purpose for that.
Yeah.
Here,
I don't know
so
why you'd want that.
If we find
Almost
a pile
like
of
it was
bear
on
shit,
purpose.
if we find a pile of bear shit, I assume a bear is somewhere then.
I would love to have a comprehend roll from you, Mr. Strout.
Oh, I'd love to comprehend because I got a tasty one for you. Oh my God, better than I thought.
What do you got?
Looking at a mind 5 and a comprehend 3.
Oh, that's plump.
So I'm going to tell Google to roll 8d6s, and it will show me all of them, not add them up. And I got a 1-6 out of it.
Perfect.
Incredible.
Now, so what that means is that whenever you try to use this information that I'm about to give you, if it ever is part of a greater role or something that you're trying to tap into, you get an extra die anytime you use the information here.
I see.
In the interminable process of pulling down data, checking out CompuServe, looking at these local municipal maps, things of this kind, there is a terminus for future expansion of the loop out near the refuge tent.
Oh, I see. So there is this as they expand the reach of this device, this is a good source, or like I'm assuming there's maybe like a geometric reason why it has to be here.
Yeah, it's just what the idea, and this was actually true when I was, when I lived there and did work there.
In the loop?
Well, for some reason, and I don't know why Spokane did this, they pulled dark fiber like in the mid to late 80s.
What the fuck is dark fiber?
Dark fiber. Whoa.
It's like bad cholesterol. It's like bad fiber.
No,
Yeah.
they pulled.
Imagine a dark fiber.
Yeah, imagine a dark fiber. Fiber optic cable that isn't being utilized. Just pulling dead fiber from place to place. with the idea that it would be utilized at some point in the future.
Whoa.
So there is essentially a node, a loop power terminus node out here that reaches very near to this tent and its environs.
Oh, okay. So we now established this as a group. We would have to figure out like where does this refuge come from? What do they want? And why do they need people to be here? It seems like you'd have to have a permit.
Can I do an empathize check
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
on
For
on
who?
this gentleman, this adult
Yeah.
who's leading us?
Oh.
Absolutely. Yeah. Empathize in this game is very cool. As I suggested before.
Right. I get to understand person, animal, conscious robot, or cyborg, and how to find its weakness, which is why I wanted to boost my points in it. Okay, so I can roll a 6. Oh, 2 6s, my lads.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yes.
So on success with empathize, you may ask me questions and I will interpret this gentleman for you.
Excellent.
You have 4 questions of the mode. What is their weak spot? How can I manipulate them into doing something? What do they feel? What do they want? What are they going to do? Are they lying? That type of stuff. And so you can mess with those themes. Are you delighted by this game, Rosie B. Stinger?
It's an extremely rosy skill, and I'm just so happy that it was such a
It's a neat implementation of it too. So why don't you dish up a couple cues for me?
Okay, first and foremost, I want to know, based on what I've seen and this guy talking to us and all the things that he's doing, why are they here? Like, what does he want with this particular location?
What he wants, authentically wants, is to make people's lives better.
Okay. Next question. Question number 2.
Oh, good.
What is he lying about anything that he's saying to us?
Let's see. Give me call up the thing that you want me to verify.
Okay.
Like out of the things that he said, and everybody should throw in here because it's
please
memory's
help.
porous.
All 3 of you help me think of good questions here.
How about this?
Yeah.
If he authentically wants people's lives to be better, are we talking about the people, the world in general, or are we talking about the people attending?
That was my
Because
question.
are these people going to be mulched in order to improve the city? Are they going to be thrown into a power plant?
No, it's his altruism that's real. That altruism is entirely directed toward the people inside the tents.
Okay.
For me, dog.
How can I manipulate him into doing what I want? What's his weak spot emotionally?
You can manipulate him. I just got a terrible feeling on my scalp when this realization occurred to me. You can manipulate him by providing the type of believer he wants to help.
Oh, okay. And okay, so is that 2 questions or is that 3? That's technically
3.
That's 3. Okay.
No wishing
And
for more wishes.
yeah, no wishing for more wishes. Why can I ask something as specific as why did he have us dig that trench?
It's part of a larger project, and you're not even sure that the trench is that important. You think it might actually be about getting people in here.
Okay.
Hate it.
Okay, cool.
We have to pause there, unfortunately. That's our game for today. I know
I just shifted to be like, all right,
it's traditional.
Let's
It's
dig in.
traditional. It's traditional for this game, unfortunately. Shadow Council, may our labors please you. We're gonna pause briefly. We're gonna return for table talk, and then we'll be right back.